For a little backstory, I'm a scout since I'm 8 years old, and last year I was the leader of my team, so I had to do all the paperwork and calls for finding places to camp. It was mid-November. I had to find a place to camp, but since I was lazy, I decided to wait a week before the actual weekend. A week before the weekend, I decided to call some owners so I can have a place to sleep. As I call many numbers, all the owners are unavailable, or simply not here. But then I see a number which I never called before, since it's at the end of the list. I call and an old lady picks up the phone. I do the basics, presentations and all. She agreed to let me and my team stay at her place, and we're making agreements. That afternoon, I go to her property to check everything such as potable water, the place to put the tent, and the campfire. The place is kinda dark, but it's nice. The week passes and Saturday arrives. That Saturday is ending well. We did some great games, ate a lot, and we had a good night's show. As the others go to sleep in the tent, I stay awake to finish paperwork for the next day. It's now midnight, and I decide to go to sleep because we have to wake up early to go to church. As I switch off my flashlight, one of the newbies wants to go to the toilets, aka a tree, and asks me to come with her. I can understand why, because it's better to be accompanied at night, especially in the woods. She does her business, and I suddenly hear some noises far away, but not too far away. I tell myself it's nothing, and must be some animals trying to find food. We head back to the tent, and that's when I hear footsteps approaching. As I hear those footsteps, I remain calm and tell myself that it's probably just the old lady checking on us. But I still have an odd feeling because it's midnight, and why would she be checking on us at this hour? I hear no more footsteps for the next 10 minutes. Then I hear more coming to our tents. Thankfully, all my girls are sleeping because they would have been scared. I was the oldest one. They were about 3 or 4 years younger. As I hear those footsteps, which seem to come from one person, I hear others coming from the back of the tent, and I thought to myself, okay, this is getting weird. I need to do something. I checked the tent by the inside, and thank God, one of my newbies left some embers from the fire, so I could see what happens between the fire and the zip of my tent. A minute passes by, and a silhouette is there, just between the fire and my tent. I stopped breathing. I literally froze. I started to move towards my phone when I saw the silhouette coming closer to the zip of the tent. I sent a message to one of my bosses, who is always camping in the near area just in case something happens. But I knew she would take too long, so I had to think of something, and think fast. That's when I had an idea. I put my alarm on like a big siren, because sometimes we would wake up in the middle of the night to play games. I sounded the siren, and all the girls woke up. The silhouette had started to unzip the tent. I actually saw fingers poking through. But as the silhouettes heard my girls waking up, it sprinted back to where it came from. And that's when I saw 2 other silhouettes sprinting back in the same direction. Everything ended well. 20 minutes later, my boss came and stayed the night with us, and I never had to deal with those silhouettes again. Thankfully.